Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European Indices, and starting with the FTSE here. In this case here, we have quite a clear five-wave structure to the downside. I don't have any problems with this one in terms of 1 and 2. And I can see we've got 5 waves in here for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 4's a bit of a worry because it overlaps wave 1. Then wave 5 here. Wave 4 is sideways as an A and a B and a C, which is fine. And then 5 waves down for wave 5 here. We are retesting the 7-4 here at the moment, and it is struggling to get through that. The Nasdaq is leading higher, followed by the SP, and the DAX is moving up quite nicely as well, but this one here is lagging a little bit, so no long trades here unless we get the 7,400 as a tested support. You need to be on the right side at the right time, and the right time and the right side is having the 400 as your tested support. And if that's the case, it could move up to the 7.5 area here, which is the 50 and the 61.8% retracement level. Before I go on to the DAX, I just want to show you the Nasdaq here that's pushing higher here. So the Nasdaq has got this as wave 3 here, then an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and then wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and then this one and this one. So I'm thinking that the S&P 500 would be the same as well, and it hasn't. The S&P 500 is not up at the top here yet like the Nasdaq is, but I think it's important to look at it and also to compare it with the DAX as well. The DAX and the other European markets have dropped significantly and have given a better structure in terms of 5 waves to the downside. The FTSE can be counted as 5 waves to the downside. The DAX, I'm scratching my noggin a little bit about that because I can see that it can also be counted as 3 waves down as well, so I want to have a closer look at that. But I can see that this structure here is not finished. If we call this wave 1 and 2 here, then this is 1 and 2 and 3. That's not going to finish on 3 waves. It will be finishing on 4 and then 5 here at minimum, but then that will take that to the top here. So it does appear that this can move higher here in line with the Nasdaq. So when we consider that the S&P 500 and the DAX can travel together quite nicely, sometimes the DAX can lag quite a lot and then catch up really quickly. So we need to be mindful of that. But I think that if we kind of get an idea of how long this is going to take here, then we can compare that excuse me, to the DAX. So with this structure from the low here coming up to the high here, then this, in my view here, this strong little wave in the middle here, that would be the center of the whole trend going up here, because we have wave 1 and 2 here, and then we have 1 and 2 here, and then we're in the 3rd wave here. So from the 3rd wave, we would have the 4th wave folding back in here, and then we'll have the 5th wave moving up to these highs here, or maybe even to the 2.6 here. So we've got that, and then we get the sideways correction here of wave 4 here, that because wave 2 is simple, wave 4 will be a bit complex here, and then we've got wave 5 to the upside. Normally if the extension's in wave 3 here, then wave 1 here and wave 5 will be roughly the same length. So we could see it turn here, or we may see it extend further to the upside here. I'm not quite sure, but when you consider this has taken 2 sessions, say, to get to here, then we could look at 3 sessions getting to here, giving it a bit more sort of space. So taking that on board and then looking at the DAX here, we would have to say to ourselves, this was 1 session here, from the 16th here to the 17th here, or 17th now in Asia. But so how far is this going to travel in 2 or 3 days here? Is it going to take this top out through here? Because we can count this as 5 waves coming down through here, but I can also adjust it a little bit here. If I adjust wave 2 to put this wave 2 here and look at this wave as wave 3 here, then I can look at this as being wave 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here, and then down for 5 here. So 5 waves to make the A wave. then the B wave here, and then the C wave here. So it could be read as an ABC pattern down here, and this market lagging here. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the A wave here, or possibly wave 1 as well here, and we're just lagging here. So I'll just grab this here, just dull that out a little bit here, just so it's possible, you know. So the main point is really to look at being long. We've breached this trend line through here. We're above the 13,000, has migrated from being resistance to support here, and it has taken the high out from being 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we should see this continue to push up here. So the main point here is to be long at the moment, and let's just see that if we get this as wave 1 and 2 and a third wave and a fourth wave and a fifth wave, or we just get to here. So it's probably a good idea to have a small position long, and the Nasdaq and the S&P will take the DAX higher, and we'll see how it looks when we're up into that space there on the Monday. But if Friday closes strong, then we can expect Monday to follow through on that as well. Alrighty. The AEX, beg your pardon, and much the same here as well. But I can really see this. I mean, I could probably count this as 5 waves down as well. I've got it as 5 waves here. I mean, I could see it as an ABC as well. So the this would be counted as an A wave here, a B wave here, then wave 1, wave 2, and then this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave, a fourth wave here, and a fifth wave to the downside. So it too can be counted that way too, but it's certainly taking its time moving up here, and you know, where is it going to be in two or three sessions as well. Yeah. You could trade long to the upside here as well once it establishes itself. You know, it's had the arrival. Really had the arrival here and the reaction here. So this will be the first high above the level here. So it could. If I can just move this out the way here for a moment. The move up here at the moment, I can see that this is either an A and a B and a C wave here for the A wave here. I just don't know yet. There's 3 waves to there, or this could be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then 5 up to this point here. And if it's 5 up to this point here, then we're going to see an A and a B and a C wave coming back, and then another 5 waves up from that point there. So a little bit curious to see if we see what this is here, but you would have to say that it does not have support on 540 yet, because it hasn't come back and tested it at this stage. So the setup is not really here for this market at this particular stage. But yeah, and as I mentioned before, if we can figure that we do get only 3 waves to the 61.8% mark, then we'll be looking at the short trades from that point there. But let's just see how the DAX and these other markets travel in compared to really the S&P, but also the Nasdaq. Because the Nasdaq is leading, it's pretty much all eyes on this, and of course we can look at the Frank stocks to figure out their wave count as well. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.